Hello and welcome to Ryno's Ravens preview. London game tomorrow. Yay. So exciting. So please like and subscribe and you'll be notified not only when this video drops, but when the review show drops after the game. Alright, let's get right into it before I start talking about how much I hate this team going to London. Start with some of the injuries, just a refresher of who is on injured reserve. Demarion Williams, Darius Washington, David Ojabo are the biggest names. You are allowed to bring some of these guys back to your roster, so we'll see. Ojabo wants to, but we'll see if that happens. But as far as the rest of the injury report, it looks fairly good. Odell Beckham Jr. ankle injury was limited in practice Wednesday, full participant Thursday and Friday. But as we saw in that Steelers game, he didn't play that much. Mostly because he kind of re-aggravated the injury, if I'm not mistaken. Clowney looks like Clowney had some kind of illness earlier in the week. Did not participate Wednesday, but full participant Thursday and Friday. Marlon Humphrey still dealing with the foot, limited Wednesday, full participant Thursday and Friday. Patrick McCary, a little bit of an illness and a chest injury that he left the Pittsburgh game. Limited Wednesday, full participant Thursday and Friday. So it looks like McCary, Humphrey, Clowney, Beckham Jr. are all going to play. You're not going to be a full participant Thursday and Friday and then not getting a game Sunday unless maybe you tweak something in pregame warmups. Very shocking to see 2 days of full participation and then not play. Very weird. Mitchell here, running back, we don't see too much of. Does look like he will be available. Morgan Moses was unable to start last week, but shoulder injury limited Wednesday, full participant Thursday and Friday, so it would appear he will be in there. Dafe, different story. Ankle injury, did not participate at all, and he is listed as out. So, what is this, the second straight week, or is this the third straight week? I can't even remember. I guess it will be the third straight week of no Owe or Ojabo. Disappointing. But Van Noy does appear to be fitting in rather nicely. Geno Stone had some kind of hamstring thing. Did not participate Wednesday. Limited Thursday. Full participant Friday. So it does look like maybe he will see less snaps potentially, but it does look like he will be available. Nothing big for the Titans. Most noteworthy, I guess. Well, I guess there's 2 on here, really. I mean, it does say Derek Henry and DeAndre Hopkins, but it does say not injury-related rest, so it's probably not an injury. It's kind of weird how they list injuries on these reports sometimes. So for the most part, I think the Ravens are going to be relatively healthy, which is a good sign. Yeah, you're missing some of your better pass rushers, but still got a lot of pieces up this week. Get into some of the news, the articles. This article written by Ryan Make, editorial director, I assume, of the website BaltimoreRavens.com, though it does not specify. Headline kind of says it all. It's a London game. Take 2. high stakes. Well, high stakes because you look like absolute dog shit the last time you played in London. And you practically gave the game. That's actually probably a really good word for it. You gave the game to the Steelers last week. You could have won that. You could have won that game so many different times. All right. Then moving on from last week. Something Ryan Mink talks about, and it does seem like the rest of the team supports that theory. It's not like it's just Ryan Mink's theory. It's more the decision to get to London earlier. 6 years ago, the Ravens took a late flight. Was it like Thursday or Friday? They got to London, which is what the Tennessee Titans are doing this week. So the Ravens, they flew out on Monday. So Ryan Minks is definitely like, yeah, my body feels better this time around than I remember it feeling 6 years ago. There's a time zone difference. What is it, 4 or 5 hours? I can't remember. They're 5 hours ahead. It's somewhat of a huge difference if you're going to go Thursday or Friday. If you're going to go earlier in the week, it's going to have a different effect. You're going to be able to adjust to it. And Mark Andrews spoke to Clifton Brown, BaltimoreRavens.com staff writer, and shared the same sentiments. Glad we arrived in London early. Same thing. I mean, myself, I have traveled between time zones. For me, it was Germany. I was stationed there a few years. It is noteworthy. You do need to have some time to adjust. Do you need a lot of time? Maybe, maybe not. Sleep patterns are going to be slightly different because your body and its clock still wants to go to sleep. Let's say you go to sleep at 10 p.m. in your own bed. Well, whether you're in England or you're in Baltimore, your body wants to go to sleep at 10 p.m. Baltimore time. But if you're in London, it's not exactly what time it is it? So you do need some time to adjust your biological clock, I guess. Is that the right word for it? Sure. Your internal clock within your body. Now, hopefully, this week, we're going to see a much better performance out of the Baltimore Ravens. Last time when they were in London, they looked like honestly, they looked like a soccer team trying to play football. That's what it looked like. Not that the Ravens have been looking too good in the past weeks. Dropping lots of balls, putting the ball on the ground when they do catch it, throwing interceptions. You got to throw to the guys in the same color jersey that you have on. And throw the guys in the other color jersey. But it is interesting that the Titans left later. I don't know if this is some rule the NFL has. One team has to leave early, the other team has to leave later. I'm not completely sure I understand why you would want to leave so much later. I think I would want to leave earlier. Because at the same time, you are in another country, whether you like that country or not. There are some sites that I'm sure you would like to see. Well, you can't exactly do that if you're there for 2 days. You can't exactly practice on playing on a soccer field in a few days when you're used to playing on a football field in America. Grass is grass, but is the turf itself going to feel different when you run on it? It will most likely feel a little different. I think I did see some speculation on how good a shape this field is that they're going to be playing on, but that's just speculation. It's nothing definitive, and both teams play on the same field. Really looking for the Baltimore Ravens to have a bounce back in two areas. Bounce back in this regular season from looking like pitiful dog shit in that Steelers game. And yes, that is the appropriate way. You can't go in your division rival and maybe your biggest rival in general. You can't go in their house, throw them the ball a bunch of times, put the ball on the ground a bunch of times, and have the ball hit you in the hands many times and just not catch it. Yeah, that pitiful is what that is. All right, let's wrap this up. We're really looking for the Ravens to turn around in two areas. Yes, a rebound from last week and how, so like I've been harping on, they dropped a lot of balls. Let's look at the Ravens pass catchers rebound and start actually catching footballs. Let's look at ball carriers and have them hold on to the ball. And Lamar stop throwing to the other team. And as I'm sure one of the storylines, it was one of the worst defeats in NFL history. It was just, and maybe just because the profile was high, because it was one of only a few times that NFL football was played in London. 6 years ago, they hadn't been doing it three or four times a year for several years. They have now. Back then, the score was just completely lopsided. It looked like one team was playing football and the other team didn't get on their plane to make the trip. Look to see a better showing in this one. Look like you have actually practiced your craft and you're coming to another country to showcase the NFL and represent the league. Well, much better than you did the last time you were here. Did not represent NFL football very well last year. 6 years ago, the last time they went to London. All right, and some notes here. Yes, the Ravens, technically a home game for the Tennessee Titans. Baltimore Ravens at Tennessee Titans from Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, which I assume that's still London. I don't really know where that is. But because they are across the pond, the game will start at what it's scheduled to start, how it reads here, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Much earlier than we are used to. Preview show should come Monday. Be sure to like and subscribe, and you'll be notified of that preview show. I am the Angry Ryno. Fly, Ravens, fly.